Hi guys, how's everybody doing? I'm giving a market update. I want you to know what I'm seeing. I want you to know where I think the market is headed and just give you a little bit of insight into what's happening with real estate and mortgage in Southern California. To be a home buyer right now is probably one of the most awkward, challenging places to be. Home buyers are having to waive contingencies to be able to get their offer accepted. They're having to bid over the asking price of the home that's listed. They're having to give in to any demands, anything that the seller wants. We have home buyers that are letting, first of all, they're paying well over the asking price. The recent example is a house that we just sold in Rancho Cucamonga, listed for $650, sold for $718. It was all cash. We had multiple, 15 offers, 30 people showing over the course of a couple of days. And the buyers of that property were so kind to let our sellers stay an extra 3 weeks. I've heard of buyers letting sellers stay an extra 3 months. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the market. Obviously, it is a great time to be a seller because the seller is like king seller. It's like kiss the ring, I'm selling my house. You know, the sellers are sitting up in their castle having a great time, and these poor buyers are out there struggling. Where we're seeing buyers have success is by waiving the appraisal contingency, going in strong with the offer price. Buyers that have money to pay over if the appraisal doesn't come in. Where we're seeing sellers have success is putting the property on the market. Number one, put your property on the MLS. I've talked to a handful of people recently that have listed their homes and are letting the realtor bring buyers in, tie the property up, and sell it before it hits the market, which I think is absolute lunacy, and I think it's very irresponsible of an agent to do that. Open Door is doing that right now, as a matter of fact. They're a prime example. If a property hits the market, it's going to get the most exposure, and you're going to have the ability to get the most amount of offers, resulting you, the seller, in the highest price. You'll hear this from many different agents that it's a very unique time. I saw Stephen Thomas post something about the last decade. There have only been 5 million homes, new construction homes built. The previous decades, going back to like the 40s, there have been 20 to 27 million homes built. Coupled with people are staying in their homes longer now, like 10 to 12 years, versus a decade ago, people were moving every 5 or 6 years. So there's just not as much movement. Also, we do still have about 5% of the population in forbearance. There's a lot of discussion that I'm hearing that those people that are coming out of forbearance are going to all of a sudden bring all this inventory into the market. I think that even if that were the case, we have such an extreme shortage of inventory that I don't know that it would do too much because the demand is so high. One thing I do know though is that interest rates do drive affordability. And if for some reason we had an interest rate change, that could spike that rise. There's a lot more pain to be had out there by buyers. Buyers want to buy homes, and the migration of people moving from LA, big metropolitan areas, you know, like San Diego hub, Orange County hub, LA hub, to the rural areas that are more affordable. We're seeing drastic rises, especially in the Inland Empire, in values. We're seeing that go on a lot. I'm still of the mindset that the terms drive whether or not it's a good time to buy, and if it's affordable and it makes sense, closing loans for people buying homes? A lot. The profile of a home buyer in this market right now is someone that has $100,000 or more. Sure, we can get it done with people that have 30 or 40,000, but buyers have to come in with their down payment, their closing cost. They have to waive the appraisal contingency. In some cases, they have to waive the loan contingency and even the home inspection contingency. I'm not seeing too many of my buyers waive the loan or the home inspection contingency. I think in our area, we all know the litigiousness behind real estate. So to protect the buyer and the seller, everyone likes to keep the home inspection contingency in place. But where you've got the play is the appraisal and the loan. And that's a scary thing for a first-time buyer. So it's hard for that first-time buyer to get out there in the wild, wild west of real estate right now and play real estate. But it sure is I think of like a Hawaiian paradise when I think of what it's like to be a seller right now, right? They're getting fanned, grapes fed to them. Like it's really something. How long is this market gonna last? I do not see an end in sight. It goes up and it goes down, right? We know that. Those are real estate cycles. But it just seems because of the lack of inventory, I honestly don't know. I think we've probably at least got another year. In all of the reports that I'm reading, there's no end in sight to this problem. And you know, the inventory problem is really coupled by the lack of builders building new inventory. But also, if you have any friends that are investors, or if you yourself went out there to try to get permits to build a property, you know, a lot of these cities are taking 2 years to give permits to investors. Hey, I've got this one friend, Aaron Mazzarello. Hi, Aaron, if you're watching this. You know, he's been waiting 2 years to get 8 units to market. 2 years. There's a big problem with cities and the permit process, you know, bringing these additional dwellings to fruition. And I think that's why a lot of people, the ADU process is having a lot of success. Accessory dwelling units where people are adding granny quarters onto their house. We're seeing a lot of people have success with that. One of my friends, Renee Pacheco, did a cash out refinance and added, I don't know, probably like $100,000 of value to her property. I think that's about all I have in the market update. Rates are low. We kind of like, even though we went up a little bit, you know, we're still looking at a regular 30-year fixed. Somebody with a, you know, 700 FICOs in the high 2s for a rate and term or a cash out refi. Jumbos are in the high 2s, low 3s. So we're looking really beautiful in the rate department. If you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance, call or text 909-920-3500 today.